Hey YouTube. Well, it's the end of the day today. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Bullseye's getting ready for bed. Right here. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about Jeep here I've been working on. And you know, the main goal with body work is to try and get the body back looking like it was when it was original. The thing is I don't know if you've ever known this or thought about this, but I've owned a lot of pickup trucks in my life, probably about 60 of them, and trucks and stuff stretch depending upon what you put on them, not just lengthwise but all kind of ways, stretching and twisting. And the object of, like I said, body work is to get it back to original. Now, you know that I put a great big panel in here, and I put two patches over here. And what you do is, after you put the fiberglass on the welded areas, the welded seams, and then grind it down or sand it down, the next thing you want to do is go after it with body putty. So I had showed you the kind of body putty I use, which is fairly inexpensive compared to other body putties. I mean, it still costs money, but it's good stuff. So basically I put a coat on there. I don't know how good you can see that, but that was the first coat, this one here, over the fiberglass. This is the second coat. It's a little tacky yet. I'm waiting for it to dry. Probably tomorrow will be a good day to sand it down. Once that's sanded down, if you look real close at body putty, you tend to get little pinholes and stuff in it. And they can be a nuisance, especially if you're looking for custom painting. Now, I'm not after that with this truck. I'm just going to put some primer on it. But what I was going to say is that this stuff from Evercoat, called Easy Sand, it's a very thin body putty. And the thing is it's also pretty expensive. So you can mix this with equal parts of this and then put the hardener in there to get yourself a very nice, flowable, easy to sand finished surface before primering. And that's what I'm going to do here. Now you can see I've got marks and stuff in this. I was in a hurry because I just wanted to get the body putty on so I could go eat supper. But all of this will sand off. And again, what you're doing is, like in this area, there wasn't any metal work except for the welding of the holes that were up here close for the tarp buttons. All I'm going to do is sand against the original surfaces. And once I get this body putty down to that surface, it's going to be close to being finished. I'm probably going to be able to put some paint on here tomorrow, primer, with a little bit of luck. But you know, sanding, if you use a flat sander, like I have an orbital sander, if you sand with that, and this thing is old, I should get a new pad for it, but if you sand with that, you can get this thing to look pretty good, and it's going to come nice and flat. Like in this area here, you can see this is pretty flat in here. Needs a little bit of attention, and like I say, it needs that final coat. On this side here, where the panel was, you can see I covered with fiberglass. This is fiberglass here now, waterproof. I covered the weld over with that, and I'll sand that down, and then I'll finish putting body filler on that. This patch I have tacked in place. I made a video of how to cut it and fit it, so I haven't finished that yet. It's just need to weld it up and grind it down again. But I just thought I would show you. And you know, with this body filler, it reminds me of working with drywall, because as you have dents in body work, you know, your object is to fill them up and to conform with the existing body. I really like the idea that this Jeep is one flat surface, because I very seldom ever get to work on a flat surface like this. Now the hard thing about a flat surface is you could end up getting waves in it. So I'll show you right now. All I'm doing to sand this off is using this orbital sander. I'm holding it flat and I'm letting it run, and I'm just moving it back and forth flat. I'm keeping it flat, and that's going to get rid of all the high spots, and it's going to show me where all the low spots are. Okay, and the way it shows you that is because wherever it doesn't sand is too low. Let's see here. I don't know if I have anything that actually shows that. Yeah, I don't know if you can see this mark right here, but if you run your finger over that, you can feel a little spot there. Now that's probably where I started body putty and pull it away. And a lot of times you should start at the beginning, of a panel and pull it all the way across if you can, to get a nice finish. But anyway, when you sand that, and you get down to where you start having metal come through, which is fine, you start to see where the low spots are. And the object of the game is to get it as close to the original body panel shape as you can. But sometimes you have high or low spots, and if they're high and they're metal, you can drive them back in, possibly with a hammer. If they're low, then you can either drive them out from the inside, and if you can't get to it, which very seldom you can, then you can just fill the holes in. You can try pulling them out if you want to, but it's not something that is always easily done. The thing is the kind of work that I'm doing here on this Jeep is the type of work you would do to a vehicle that you want to salvage, but not take to a show. If this was going to be a show vehicle, you would be stripping this thing down and taking all the paint off the body and everything else. This is just how to have a decent ride with a few bucks spent. So anyway, those are the types of body putty that I'm going to be putting on here. And tomorrow, after this dries good and I sand it down, I'll see if I can't make another video about how it's going to look after I get done spraying it. Now there is some hand work that I have to do here. I don't think for 1 minute that it's all about using the sander, because it's not. What I usually do is take something like a stick here, paint stick or something longer, and I'll wrap some sandpaper around that, and what that'll do is that'll give me a flat surface to work. Like say down, I could work this down with a flat surface with sandpaper on it once I break the top coating off. The problem with the Jeep here naturally is it's a long panel. I mean, if you compare the size of the panel with the size of this stick, so you need to sort of overlap. Like in other words, you might start here and go half of the distance in sanding, but then you want to start half that distance again to be able to keep a flat surface. And with a little bit of experience with it, you can end up with a pretty nice panel. So, alright guys, well that's where I'm at now. And I figured I'd just let you know what kind of body putty and finish coating I'm going to use. And as far as this Jeep goes, because they're going to paint green underneath it, I'm actually going to use this Rust-Oleum primer out of a spray can to primer, because it's sort of like a greenish gray color, although it doesn't look green here. It looks more gray, but it's actually a greenish color. So I'm going to use that to do the primering over these spots. So it's called spot primering, and that's what I'm going to do with it, and then the owner will take it from there. So okay, that's it. Bye.